National news has turned its attention to primaries across the United States as more and more progressives take on incumbent Democrats, and the movement seems to be gaining traction. Back at home, we find ourselves in the middle of one of those political rivalries as Jonathan Paz aims to take over incumbent Democrat Katherine Clark's congressional seat. ACMi news producer Josh Guicherit had the opportunity to sit down with Paz to hear what he had to say about the progressive movement.
So how can we define who is a progressive? What is the progressive movement functionally about? Is there such a thing as just the one type of progressive?
Yeah, I mean, I don't love political labels, and I don't love to label myself, and I try not to label other people. But I think that in economics, what I love about the term progressive is that it does have a mathematical definition. If people didn't know, a progressive tax means that we tax people who are wealthier more than people who are less wealthy, right? Right now what we have is a regressive tax, where people who are not as wealthy are paying more proportionally in taxes than those. So I think, like, if we can just agree that a progressive tax is at least a, what I'm trying to just explain is, like, if we can just have some basic class solidarity, some basic, like, hey, you're getting by like I am. We have more in common. We're neighbors, but we have more in common than we do with billionaires, right? So I'm a little bit less concerned about who's liberal, more conservative, and like left or right, and more about up and down. Are you with the 99% of people, or are you with the 1% who live a whole different reality than you and I do, who are living a whole different ball game? They're billionaires, and they're not subjected to the law the same way we are. They don't have the same opportunities that we do. So I think whenever I ask, and I'm trying to maybe recruit or persuade or work with people, the basic question I'm trying to get at is, who are you fighting for? Are you fighting for your fellow person, your fellow working class person who's trying to get by, who has to, work check to check to make ends meet? Or are you fighting for Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and the Bill Gates of the world? And where does that solidarity stem from?
Right.
So I think when we define progressivism, my idea is like, hey, at a basic level, do you want to pay more taxes or not?
Right.
Or at a basic level, do you stand with the working people? Do you stand with working people, and do you understand that these billionaires have rigged the game? And I think if you ask most Americans, they understand that this economy is not working for them, and that they don't have the same equal political access as these super PACs, these corporate PACs, and these special interests.
Thank you to Jonathan Paz for taking time out of your busy campaign schedule to visit the studio. For the full interview, check out ACMi's YouTube page.